A movie can be amazing, but if nobody knows about it, then it's just another film. Obviously the Burbs crept into the psyche, and having met so many amazing people on Facebook that are Burbs fans, I thought, you know what, we need our own documentary. We need something that kind of tells about who we are, so I just got on the Best Movie Ever group page, and said, hey neighbors, I've been thinking about making a documentary about us. Who's in? And it just exploded. As many neighbors that wanted to be in it said, hey, I'll do it. So I figured out how to do all these interviews. People from all over wanted to be a part of it, so I just decided that if they've got cameras, let them shoot their interviews, shoot the way that they want it, as long as they are in the shot, then I'll just piece it together. That's basically how it came about, and it's just been phenomenal, just like the Burbs.
Hey, I'm Sean Donahue. I'm here to talk about the Burbs.
Well, hello, my fellow Burbs fans. My name is Bram. I'm from Amsterdam, so English is not my native language, so excuse me if I pronounce something wrong or, well, you know.
Hello, I'm Michael Jones. I'm from Norwich in the UK.
Greg Davis.
Hi, my name's John, and I'm a Berber. I'm a Burbinger? Burbalite. I'm Bourbon. Bourbonite. I'm a Bourboner. I'm Burbian. We prefer to call ourselves Bourbonians.
Hello folks, James Ralph coming at you from Garden City, Kansas.
The first time I heard about the Burbs is when it was released on home video. My parents used to own a video store, so that's when I first heard about it. And I probably watched it when it was released on home video, so it would have been about 1990. I would have been 20 years old at the time. When I first watched it, I thought it was funny. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was, to this day, I still think it's a great movie. It's one of the ones I always recommended when customers came in. Even if they were getting another Tom Hanks movie, I'd always recommend The Burbs.
I first heard about the Burbs in 1989 when it came out. I believe I saw a trailer on TV. I don't think I saw it in the movie theater. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. But I definitely rented it on VHS, which I don't have anymore. But that's the cover art with the spatula hose. Tom Hanks. For some reason, I always saw in the video store, always stuck out, and I ended up renting it. I watched with my family. I don't think my dad enjoyed it very much, and to be honest with you, at first, I didn't love it either. Definitely didn't hate it. It was just one of those movies that kind of came and went, and as the years went on, it just kept coming on TV, and I kept watching it, and it just kind of became a repetitive thing, and now it's my comfort movie. So my first impression of the Burbs, I didn't really love it. I think I was 8 or 9 years old when I first saw it.
Well, I came across it by accident back in 1990 when I was 11 years old. The year before, in 1989, I became a huge horror fan. I never was a big movie fan before that, but in 1989, when I was 10, I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, my first horror movie, and I was sold. I was hooked, and I wanted to watch more horror and horror. Will you see my collection in the background? So still a huge horror fan, and through the years I also became a movie fan, not necessarily horrors, but also Hitchcock, Stanley Kubrick, you name it, I got it all. I've got 7 bookcases full of DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks and collector's items. But back to the Burbs. So I was a horror fan for about a year. And back then there were no streaming channels, of course. There was a pay channel, a movie channel, but you had to subscribe to it, so it was scrambled. And it was very expensive to get a subscription. You had to buy a device to unscramble it. That was, I think, $250. And then you had to pay $60 a month for the subscription to watch the movies. So as a 11-year-old, I couldn't afford that. But luckily, every now and then, that channel got unscrambled for a couple of weeks for a promotion, so you could watch for free. So it was spring break 1990. I remember very well. Sunny day, and well, I just started watching the movie channel, and I came across Who's Harry Crumb with John Candy. I was a huge John Candy fan then. Short Circuit 2 was on, because you have to understand, in those days here in the Netherlands, a movie came out in the theater, but it took more than a year, sometimes 2 years, before it got out on VHS and you could rent it in the video store. It was a very long time. Nowadays it's after 3 months you can buy it in the store or watch it on a streaming channel, but well, then it was a year and a half before it got to video. So there was no internet, so you didn't have the promotion, so there were lots of movies I never heard of. But anyway, one morning I thought, well, let's see what's on the movie channel. I woke up, I had a spring break, so I was off of school, no school. A sunny day, a very sunny day, a beautiful day, and it was about 9:30 in the AM. And one movie just ended, and it said, coming up at 10 a.m., The Burbs, horror starring Tom Hanks. It was mislabeled as a horror movie. And since I was a horror buff at that time, I thought, hey, a new horror movie, well, I want to see it. So I started watching it at 10 a.m. on a sunny day, and well, the opening credits got to me. They really had me from the start. That terrific soundtrack, wow, it still gives me goosebumps. So I thought, well, this is a very dramatic, scary, creepy soundtrack, so I was in for a treat. But about 5 minutes in the movie, I thought, well, this is no horror, this is a comedy. But I kept watching, and it still could hold my attention. And especially after 15 minutes in, when they rang the doorbell and the bees came out, the soundtrack from the Western and the zooming in on the faces in the dark, well, it just had me. I was very happy, and it was a sunny day, so if I watched outside, I saw the same thing as I watched on TV. Houses, a beautiful sun, quiet, peace and quiet. So watching the TV was like watching out my window, so that gave a terrific vibe. And so I was immediately sold on the movie, and well, after it ended, I thought, wow, this was great. It was hilarious, and I thought it was great. Well, that movie channel always kept rerunning the films, so I thought, well, when is it on again, so I can watch it again. So I watched it about 3-4 times that spring break. And then I thought, well, hey, it's now free, the channel, but it will become unscrambled again. It will become scrambled again, so I have to tape it before I never can watch it again. So I taped it and make sure I had a copy. And I watched it over and over again.
The first time I heard about the Burbs was when I was about 1990, Christmas. Advertised on the BBC One, part of the Christmas schedule, and at that time we used to record absolutely everything on VHS tapes, and just sat down one evening to watch it. And obviously Tom Hanks, and the first obviously aware of Tom Hanks as a child was watching The Money Pit and obviously Splash, and obviously saw that he was headlining this film. Thought we'd sit down and watch it, and obviously it starts very dark, and he's sitting there. He walks over to the Klopex house, very dark. The wind blows. As he steps back off the lawn, the wind dies down. Very curious, and then it settles down, and then boom, we have this suddenly this very light, happy, warm, fuzzy music which brings in, and I just was hooked from the moment go. From then on, would have been about 13 at the time, and was just hooked from the word go. And I was just, that was it for me. The opening titles, the rolling credits, just got me straight away.
The first time I heard about the Burbs was right when it came out in 1989. I'm pretty sure I saw the Burbs either opening weekend or within a few weeks of its release in February of '89. Went with my best friend Justin. It was the day and age of $2.50 matinees. We'd stop at the deli on the way to the theater, the ones that had the small candy. We could fill up a bag for about $3. That was always a good Saturday or Sunday afternoon. My first impression of the Burbs, it was hilarious. Of course, it was peak Tom Hanks. He was in it. We knew we were going to go see it. We grew up with him on Bosom Buddies, Big, Splash, all those films. So it was just as expected. But seeing Carrie Fisher, who we had really only known as Princess Leia at that point, I think I was a little young to have seen the Blues Brothers at that point, so had not seen her and Henry Gibson in that movie together. Of course, Corey Feldman, who we had seen in his previous movies. It just felt very familiar. So I think in a story about a neighborhood, you had actors that were in the movie that kind of already felt like your neighbors.
When was the first time I heard of the Burbs? I don't remember exactly. I just know that it was several years after the movie came out. So I'm thinking probably sometime in the mid-90s. The first time I watched it was at home, and I would have rented it on VHS. VHS over beta! I absolutely loved it. I thought it was hilarious, and I couldn't understand why nobody else was talking about it. And I was kind of kicking myself that it took me so long to watch it.
Well, I heard about it when my dad came home from a movie shop, and I originally thought it was called The Burbs, and that's when I watched it and I loved it.
You did, didn't you?
About 7 or 8.
7 or 8 year old?
Yes.
Right. You loved it, didn't you?
Yeah, I loved it. 7 or 8. At first, when I tell my dad, nah, it's gonna be rubbish, don't want to watch it, boring. But when my dad just said, watch it, you'll like it, watched it, it's an absolute banger.
Probably when I were about, it came out in '89, so I was probably about 10 or 11.
Okay.
When I were about 10 or 11, loved it. Thought it were a very, very unique film.
It was 1990 when I first saw the Burbs. I was around 10 or 11 years old, and my siblings and I discovered it at our local Video Easy store. It captured our attention right from the start because it looked kind of spooky and kind of funny, and so we were filled with anticipation to come home and watch it, and we weren't disappointed. It became a firm family favourite. We just thought it was so cool and so awesome and so funny the first time we saw it, and then the dozens and dozens of times after that we kept watching it. So yes, it was on high rotation in our house and we just love it.
So the Burbs came out in 1989, so I would have been 7 years old. So I probably didn't hear about it when it first came out. I think I was probably 12 or 13 the first time I heard about the Burbs. I probably either saw it at the video store and saw a cool cover and thought, oh, I want to see that. I used to stay up late and look for scary movies late at night. And so that could have also been where I first caught it. But I don't remember the first time I heard about it. But I remember that once I did, I always really was into that movie. I don't remember the first time I saw the Burbs. It would have had to have been when I was probably 12 or 13 years old, somewhere in that neighborhood, because it came out when I was 7, and so I wouldn't have seen it probably for a couple of years. But I remember that once I saw it, I always liked it. I always really liked that movie. I was probably 12 or 13 the first time I saw The Burbs. It came out in 1989, and so I would have been 7 years old at that time. So a little too young to enjoy that movie probably. So probably 12 or 13 by the time I saw it. My first impression of The Burbs was that it was the perfect movie. I remember always loving that movie, and it ended up becoming one of my desert island movies. So a movie that you could watch over and over and over on repeat without ever getting tired of it. The Burbs was always that movie for me. And so I would say it left a really good impression. I always thought it was funny and scary, and it just has great writing, great acting, the whole thing. So I always really loved that movie.
So the first time I heard or saw The Burbs was actually back in 1992 or 1993. I would have been 8 or 9 years old, and I was actually at our local video rental store, and I was with my father, and he thought it looked funny, so he snagged it, brought it home, and the whole family watched it. And I remember that it was, in my mind, since I was just so young, just a really funny comedy film. And the one part that always stuck out with me was just how we had to, because obviously there's a VHS, keep rewinding the scene of, hey, Pinocchio, where you going? And then he slips on the wet grass, and we had to play that over and over. Yeah, so 1992, 93 was the first time I watched it, and was aware.
Through my grandmother, when I was probably 4 or 5 years old. 4 or 5 years old. 4 or 5 years old. Thought it was super funny throughout the whole movie.
When I first watched The Burbs, I found it funny, interesting. I've always been a big fan of the Joe Dante movies, and this is The Burbs ranks #1 as my Joe Dante film.
So I love that movie.
Overjoy, really.
Well, it was a comedy, and it was Tom Hanks as peak Tom Hanks. So it was hilarious. I remember leaving the theater just laughing with my best friend.
A bit creeped out, because why would a person, aka the Klopex, have bones in the back of their car? So
Right. It's just one of those feel-good movies, and it's just a movie you always go back to and never find it boring.
I think that I felt the first time that I watched The Burbs the perfect mixture of everything I like when I watch a movie. So it was funny, it was mysterious, it was kind of a thriller, and it was kind of scary. It's not horror in its truest form. It's horror that sits better on the palate. It's funny, and it's like how real people would react to a situation like that. And so it's just the perfect combination of movie elements for me. Everything I want in a movie. Funny, scary, and thrilling at the same time.
I thought, what am I watching? Where is this crazy neighborhood at? I want to live there. And I just thought it was a great movie.
When it comes to Burbs merch, the only official stuff I have is the VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and t-shirt. A neighbor in the Burbs group sent me a sardine, 2 coasters, and this. As for custom-made burp stuff I've done, got this t-shirt. First board game I created, Burbsopoly. Created Burbs Risk Edition, Burbs the Trivia Game, Burbs Uno Edition, Burbs Board Game, just an average board game. Burbs Hideous Raging Inferno Guess Who Edition, Burbs Matching Game, the Burbs Clue Edition, the Burbs Operation Edition, the Burbs Lunch Pail, the Burbs Brew, each bottle individually done, Burbs Coasters, Burbs Apron, Burbs Notebook, Burbs Puzzle, Burbs Advent Calendar, countdown to February 17th for the Burbs birthday. I've done several Burbs calendars over the years. Done a Burbs activity book. Done a Burbs coloring book. Burbs mini movie booklet. Done Burbs bookmarks. Burbs mini bags. Burbs air fresheners. Done Burbs snow globes. Burbs keychains. Done Burbs stickers. Burbs mini Rubik's Cube. Burbs mini blocks. The Burbs lighter. Burbs Happy Meal box. The Burbs clock. Autograph from Corey Danziger, who played Dave Peterson. The Burbs wreath for Christmas time. And the Burbs Christmas stocking. And I've also done the Burbs bucks.
I want to kill everyone. Satan is good. Satan is our pal. I want to kill everyone. Satan is good. Satan is our pal. I want to kill everyone. Satan is good. Satan is our pal.
Unfortunately, all that I have of the Burbs merch is this Blu-ray. I've never really had anything else. I think I might have had a VHS at one point.
Well, and now my Burbs merchandise. Of course, I have Corey Danziger on my Hall of Fame. You can see some other stars here if you're interested. Just a quick. And I have this, of course, the US version, Blu-ray version of the Burbs with all extras, the UK version of the Burbs, the French version of the Burbs, which is a whole collectible thing with a book. Unfortunately, it's in French. My French is not that good, as in I don't speak a word of it. But, well, it has some nice pictures in it too. And, well, nowadays you can make a picture of it and translate it through an app, so that's no problem. And I got my set from Darlene. She sent it to me last year with trading cards, stickers, and an activity book. So I'm gonna do this in my vacation. Yeah, well, you might ask, why do you do that? Well, that's my vacation. That's my vacation. And of course, I'm gonna do it making some brownies.
No, sadly not. One of those things which I don't know what to go for.
I do not have a Burbs collection or merch, but I occasionally call the pizza dude.
Well, actually, I went to a horror convention once and I got a bone signed by the actor who played Hans.
Yeah, Courtney Gaines. So we got a bone signed in it. He signed it to Brandon, Sardine, Courtney Gaines, and he's put his character name Hans.
So yeah.
So we had to get a bone signed, didn't we?
Yep, but so that's the bone.
Yeah. So that's what you got from Hans?
Yes.
No, but I've got a signed autograph from Corey Feldman.
Yes, I have some things. I have a t-shirt, I have a mug, coffee mug, I have stickers. Mostly the Burbs lives in here in my head, but yes, I have a few things. And then of course I won a competition by the woman that's making this documentary, and she makes really cool Burbs merch, and so I have some things from her that I won, trading cards and some other cool things. So I do have a few Burbs things around the house, yes.
All right, and I do indeed have some Burbs merchandise, and here's my collection. So you do have the soundtrack, DVD, some shirts, posters, the vinyl soundtrack, some stuff off of Etsy. There's some very creative artists on Etsy with some stuff. And then my personal favorite is the bootleg toys. So definitely love a lot of those. This one's really funny with just the unconscious Channing book on tape. A couple of Walters, Who Picks Up This Mess. There's a couple more I'd obviously like to get that I got my eyes on, but for now, that is my Burbs collection.
I need to get more, but I do have a signed autograph from Corey, which is pretty cool. He gave one to me and my grandma. Thanks, man.
Burbs is definitely my go-to movie for whatever mood I'm in. Depending on my mood will depend. I'll laugh at different scenes, different times I watch it. And I've met the most awesome neighbors online on the Burbs is the best movie ever Facebook group. They are totally awesome neighbors.
It's kind of become my comfort food movie, so I watch it when there's nothing else to watch, when I'm sick, when I'm just trying to put myself in a good mood. So in that aspect, that's how it's affected my life.
Well, it's a tradition now to watch it each first day of the holiday.
I see it every day, everywhere I go. I am administrator on Festival Park in Norwich for the Facebook group, and there's comments I made about things on the estate and in the village around me, which are just spot on Burbs quotes, and I just can't help but post them into the Burbs group. I see it everywhere. I am pretty much a Mr. Rumsfeld, I think, for the estate, because I'm very aware of what goes on day to day, especially when working from home. Love the binoculars, to be honest with you.
The Burbs actually keeps me company. Every other week or so, I have to travel about 2 hours for a second job, and I will queue up on one of my streaming services, The Burbs, when I get in the car, and the length of the movie is just about that of my commute from my home here in the Cincinnati area to Southern Indiana, where that other job is. So The Burbs definitely keeps me company on a frequent basis.
Well, as a Burbonian, I tend to talk in Burb speak. I often quote the movie in everyday circumstances. And most of the time, people don't understand what the hell I'm talking about. But those who do, give the nod and the wink?
In a good way and a bad way, because for the first few weeks I had a few nightmares about it. And on the good side, it's affected my life in a good way because it's just such a good movie with so much enthusiasm.
Right. Probably made me a nosy neighbour.
The Burbs continues to affect my life and my family's life. So not only is it a source of nostalgia, I guess, that takes me back to being a kid watching it at home with mum and dad and my brother and sisters, a source of entertainment, but also it's a source of comfort. It's something where if you just don't know what to watch, or you can't all agree on something, or if you're just having one of those days, it's just one of those special films that you can rely on to make you feel good.
Well, I think that The Burbs has affected my life in that it's always felt special to have a special movie. You know, Joe Dante is famous for, more famous for other things and other movies that he's made, but I think a lot of people still, even to this day, haven't seen The Burbs. So it's neat to have kind of a special movie and share that with people. And then being a part of the Burbs group on Facebook has been really neat because there's never any fighting or arguing or any of the other things that you always see on Facebook. Everybody gets along. It's one happy neighborhood. And we all just have one thing in common, and it's our love for the Burbs. And so that's been a neat thing to experience. And the other thing that's been neat to experience due to that group is being able to have an acquaintanceship, a friendship with Corey Danziger, who is from the movie. And so that's been kind of cool to kind of form an acquaintanceship with him. You know, he's sent me a signed autograph. I painted a picture of his dog for him. And so that's been neat to form a friendship with somebody who is actually in the film.
Definitely how it affects my life is always, it's such a different kind of movie where it spans over so many different like types of genres. It's a satire, it's a comedy, it's a horror, it's a cult classic. It could be so many different things. So like sometimes depending on my mood or what I need, I'll just be able to pop it in. So it's like maybe I need a good laugh, I'll pop it in. Or maybe I'm feeling kind of campy, so then I'll pop it in. Or I kind of view it as like I attach myself to the characters. So it's very common at the first morning of my staycation, whenever I'm at home and off from work, I'll actually pop on The Burbs just because that opening scene kind of gets me thinking like, oh man, I got this whole week off ahead of me, and get a lot of easy things to relate to with that.
Well, it's just one of those movies that whenever I need a good laugh, I can always go back to it.
I have lost track of how many times I've seen The Burbs. And it's been over 35 years since it's been out. And I'm going to say I've probably watched it well over 500 times, probably even closer to 1,000. And at one point, I did have it on the audio cassette. And I used to listen to that at work countless times as well. So it's even that. So probably around 1,000 times I've seen or listened to The Burbs.
I've probably seen The Burbs 50 times, you know, watching it on cable, on streaming, on my old VHS, on my Blu-ray, a bunch of times.
So, wow, I watched it hundreds of times. Yeah. And then, well, a couple of years ago, I came across the Facebook fan group. Well, that gave me an incentive to watch it over and over again because everyone was quoting every day, also often the same quotes. So I had to join that. It was great to meet other Burbs fans online, but I watched it over and over again. during the time I joined the Facebook group. So yeah, that was a great time too. And now I still watch it. I have an annual Burbs Day. You want to check it out on my in the fan group from Bram. I posted it I think 2 times. But well, it starts with the Twilight Zone episode on which the movie is based, and then of course the movie and other movies that are referenced in it: Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Exorcist, The Sentinel, The Devil's Reign. I can't remember the title, so. But I watched those during a day, and of course with brownies and pretzels and pizza. So that's my annual Burbs Day, and I still watch it every spring break and every summer break and every autumn break. First day of the holiday, I watch The Burbs.
Seen The Burbs about 20, 25 times, I think, that I can recall, over the last 20, 30 years.
Literally too many to count. I have no idea. It's well into the hundreds at this point.
Probably like, I don't know, 60, 70 times maybe.
Probably about 10.
Yeah. Must be over 100.
That's for sure.
I've got it on now.
I've lost count of the number of times that I've watched The Burbs, but it would definitely be over 100 times.
I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen The Burbs. I try to watch it several times a year at least. You know, there were years that went by that kind of that I didn't watch it as much as I would have wanted to. But in the last probably 10 years, it's come back into my life in a really strong way. So I don't know how many times I've seen The Burbs, but no matter how many times I've seen it, it'll never be enough. I'll always watch it again.
Well, I've probably seen it well over 1,000, maybe 1,500, who knows.
Oh boy. I don't know. I really don't have a number. I've probably seen it easily, I don't know, 400 or 500 times. A lot.
I've yet to meet any Burbs fans in person. There are a few neighbors that do live in the same city I do. So who knows, maybe one day we'll meet up. And like I said, the Burbs is the best movie ever Facebook group. Have a lot of great neighbors in there. So who knows?
I haven't met any other Burbs fan in real life, unfortunately, but well, I'm sure that might happen one day. I'm going to Los Angeles in August, so I will put it in the group. Maybe I can hook up with a Burbs fan around that area.
I haven't met any of the real Burbs fans in real life, unfortunately. I've met people who are aware of the film, are a fan, but not, I wouldn't say diehard. And we do talk about it when we can, but obviously, I'm in place, really.
Yes, I've met people who are big fans of the movie. I haven't met anybody from the Facebook group, if that's the specific question. But yes, I have met other people who are fans of the movie.
You mean fellow Burbonians? Yes. They come in all shapes and sizes, all walks of life, and you never know where they might be hiding.
Well, my dad.
Yeah, me.
I have actually met another Burbs fan, and we were both super excited when we realised that one of us had used a quote and the other one recognised it. Connecting with other fans of the Burbs on our awesome Facebook fan page is just one of the highlights of life, really. It is just so awesome. They're just the best group ever, and it gives me such a thrill to be part of that neighbourhood.
My husband is a Burbs fan, probably because of me. I've never met another Burbs fanatic like me, though, not in real life. And that's why our group on Facebook is really special, because we all have the same level of appreciation for the movie. And so, but no, not in real life, probably. I've probably tried to make a few Burbs fans, but my husband and my daughter, who's almost 10 years old, she's definitely a Burbs fan. My husband came in the room the other night with a bag of pretzels and a can of sardines and sat at the foot of the bed and ate them. So they're both pretty big fans.
Meeting Burbs fans in real life does happen from time to time, and it's always great because the thing about Burbs fans is they're all in. They're not like, oh, I watch it, once a year, or I know a couple of the lines. When you're a Burbs fan, you've seen it hundreds, thousands of times, or you'd repeat every line, every quote, any situation that's even relatable to the movie, you immediately start referencing. So I do run into them every now and then, but the good part is when you run into them, they're actually true Burbs fans.
Besides my grandma, no. Just through this Facebook group, The Burbs is the greatest movie of all time. I think that's the name. I can't remember the name. Anyway, I love that group. Okay, it's a great group.
Oddly enough, Dr. Klopek is my favorite character. He doesn't have a lot of screen time, but he's definitely a very intriguing character. I've always been a huge fan of Hedwig Gibson, all the way back to Charlotte's Web. So that's quite a long time I've been a fan of his.
Rick Dukeman is probably my favorite character from the Burbs as well.
My favorite character is Art. I don't know, I can identify with him. Well, I'm a bit plump myself. I love to eat. And, well, I like him a lot. So that's a favorite character.
Well, so for me, what won me over, I think, when the film first started, when I was first time watcher, Virgin Burbs, for me, it was when Corey Feldman landed the paint cans. Boom. I dropped the paint, and obviously the music played. And that was it for me. And I was a big fan of Corey Feldman at the time. Helped myself, just loved it. The cast was just what won me over straight away.
Got to go with Ray. It's always going to be Ray.
Who's my favorite character is impossible to answer because they're all so good. They all steal so many scenes. It's amazing. Whoever was the casting director behind this movie deserves all the glory because they did an amazing job. They were all spot on. Chef's kiss.
Ooh, Ricky.
Ricky. Right. Favourite character, probably Art.
My favorite character in the Burbs is Rumsfeld. That's a pretty easy answer. He's to me the funniest, and so he's my favorite. I think Bruce Dern was a perfect casting choice, just like the rest of the cast. And probably after Rumsfeld, my favorite would actually have to be the Klopeks, all of them. They make the movie what it is, for sure. So I like all of them too.
So, favorite character when I was younger was Ricky Butler. And as I became older, became an adult and a parent, especially started like shopping for houses in the Burbs. Definitely Ray Peterson's my favorite character just because he's a lot easier to compare myself to now.
Ray.
Is there a reason why he's your favorite?
When he's just trying to take a nap and get some freaking sleep and the door hits him in the face and he smashes the beer cans, I feel that in my bones.
That makes sense.
Knockoff movies, Disturbia was okay. What Lies Beneath was fairly decent. But a lot of them movies about spying on neighbors and that. Most of them, nothing can compare to the Burbs at all for that.
I have seen some of the Burbs knockoff movies, or not really. I've seen Neighbors, the newer version and the older one with John Belushi. And I like both. You know, I guess I would consider those similar to the Burbs.
I haven't seen any knockoff movies.
Nope. No. I don't think was there. Is there any? No, not seen any. I have seen, however, episodes of TV shows from America, especially referencing part of or scenes built around the film, and I have dropped them in the group. It's just everywhere. I think it's part of society now.
I have not seen any of the Burbs knockoff movies. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I kind of feel like dirty, like I'm cheating on the original. I don't want to do that.
I'm not sure what those might be, so I probably have, but the fact that I can't remember them tells you that, you know, they're not up to Burbonian level.
Thankfully, no.
No, not that I can think of.
I've never seen any Burbs knockoff movies. I didn't know there were any Burbs knockoff movies, but I am interested in what that entails. I do know about the series coming up that Seth MacFarlane is doing. I've got mixed emotions about it. I think, like everybody else who's a big fan of the Burbs, we want it to be really good, and so hopefully it is. Will I watch? Yes, I gotta check it out and see, and then we'll have to get back to our group and see what we all think about it.
So any of the Burbs knockoff movies I have not seen, but I always like to see that there's some movies out there that I'm watching that I kind of compare to the Burbs. I'm like, this seems a little similar, but there's nothing that can replace the original though.
There's Burbs knockoffs movies? No, I haven't. I'll have to.
Not yet taken the Burbs street tour, but it definitely is on my bucket list. And I hope that when I do take it, I get off the trolley and run around and do some of the scenes from the movies.
I've never taken the Burbs street tour.
I took the Burbs street tour way back in 1999 when I went to the Universal Studios, and I took the tram tour, and I came across the house from the Burbs.
No, unfortunately not. One of the things I want to do, I am 47. I would love to come to America. I haven't yet had the opportunity. I would love to go to America and walk around the sets.
I have not. I've been to Universal, but I don't remember that street specifically being part of the tour.
Have I taken the Burbs street tour? No, unfortunately, I have not. I live too far away. But when I do, I'm going to say it. God, I love this street. Yes!
Have you taken the Burbs street tour? That's in Hollywood Backlot Tour.
No, but my dad has.
I have back in 1999 and 2000 and 2002 on the Wisteria Lane, it's known as now, I think. But I shouted out, that's the Burbs street, and the tour guide corrected me.
My father and I did do the street tour at Universal Studios, which was really, really exciting.
You know, I have, but I didn't know that it was the Burbs street tour at the time. I did go to Universal Studios back in about 15 years ago, something like that, and I did wander around the lot and see all the different filming locations and stuff like that. It wasn't on my agenda at the time. I didn't put two and two together at the time. And so unfortunately, I kind of missed out on the aha moment of this is it, this is the Burbs. But at the same time, I've been there, so I can still say I've been there. My goal is to go again, and my goal is to take my daughter to Universal Studios to see the Burbs and all the other amazing stuff that they have there.
I actually haven't been on the Burbs street tour. It's actually been quite a while, though. I do remember all the other houses on the street that they were advertising. It looked a little different because I think I was like 12 or 13 that year when we did it, but I have done it.
Nope, I've heard about that. Definitely would like to do that.
I have met Robert Picardo at a Comic-Con a few years back. It was great. We talked about the Burbs, gave me some great information about how he actually wrote the scene that he was in. So that was a definite thumbs up to meet him in person. And I had Bruce Dern and Corey Feldman through Cameo do a shout out for the Burbs group.
I haven't met any of the cast, but I did get a picture from Corey Danziger.
Fortunately, not no. Carrie Fisher would love to have opportunity. She passed away to meet Carrie, but that's going to happen. Same with Rick. Tom Hanks, if I ever get the opportunity, absolutely. And Bruce Dern, especially when the Shell, and obviously Corey Feldman. Not forgetting, however, Courtney Gaines and obviously Henry, obviously not here anymore.
No, I have not met any of the cast.
No. And if I ever do, I'm not the sort of autograph-seeking type of fan, but I probably would just walk by and mutter some kind of Burbs-related quote. Like, let's say I'm in Burbank, California, and I see Tom Hanks walking towards me. I'm probably just going to say, I've never seen that. I've never seen Tom Hanks walking past me in Burbank, California. Something like that.
Yes, Hans.
Courtney Gaines, yeah. I've met Courtney Gaines, who played Hans, and I've met Corey Feldman, who played Ricky Butler.
I haven't met any of the Burbs cast in real life.
So, not in person, but because of our Facebook group, Corey Danziger, who is in the film, he is a member of our group, and he talks to us. He's developed acquaintanceships and friendships with us, which has been a really neat part of being a Burbs super fan, because we get to know him, and that's been really cool.
Involving meeting the cast, no. I was close to meeting Corey Feldman. He was actually playing with his band, a musical act in town, but I had to work that night. So I haven't met any of them yet, even though I am Facebook friends with Corey Danziger, which is always fun.
I was going to go to a Corey Feldman concert, but it got canceled. So that's about the closest.
Yeah.
The only time I ever spy on neighbors is at night during a rainstorm. Who knows? Might see the Colpecks out in the backyard digging.
And I do not spy on my neighbors.
I sort of do. It's not really anything really aware of. I don't really spy. It's just I'm aware of everything that goes on around me. It's just the way I am.
Let's say no.
Do I spy on my neighbors? No, but I have a feeling that I'm the one that gets spied upon. Spied upon. That should be a word. That would be a cool band name. Spied upon.
No.
Yes. In a good, not in a pervy way.
Are you sure about that?
No.
No, I don't spy on neighbours, although I may be guilty of, the old knock and run as a kid. But no, I've not yet broken into any neighbours' homes and burnt their house down while they're gone for the day.
Do I spy on neighbors? Yes, absolutely. 100% I do. I live in the woods in the middle of nowhere. And the only thing that's ever going on is what my neighbors are up to. So yes, I do spy on my neighbors. I am a nosy neighbor.
Do I spy on my neighbors? I think everybody in the suburbs spies on their neighbors. That's why we have window curtains, right? You want to peek through it, whether it's you might not want to talk to somebody and do small talk before you go get your mail or grab your package, or you just hear a loud noise or something weird. You just always kind of look at it. So it's not necessarily a negative thing, or you're thinking your neighbors are up to something, but it's always just something that I think some neighbors do just because it's kind of fun.
Of course. If they're digging or doing all kinds of shady stuff, you never know.
I have not gotten my job because of the Burbs, although I do quote the Burbs on a regular basis while I'm at work.
I've never gotten a job because of the Burbs.
Yeah, did I get a job because of the Burbs? No. Well, no. I was gonna say I'm a teacher, just like Art, but I'm confused with Encino Man, where Art is a teacher. Well, the Burbs didn't get me a teaching job, and I think it's best they don't know about this because it's not good on my resume as a teacher, I think.
I'll say I haven't. No.
This is an interesting question. I have not. I would imagine somebody has, and the story better be good.
Have I ever got a job because of the Burbs? No. That'd be cool, though.
No, because I'm only 11 this year.
No.
Did I get a job because of the Burbs? No. No, I haven't gotten a job because of the Burbs, but that would be really cool.
Didn't get a job because of the Burbs, but it definitely made an interesting impact in my current career. This happened about 2 years ago, where I was at a big corporate dinner event, and I work for a big corporation, and my boss's boss was there. And just unlike any big corporate world, that's, that individual could be kind of intimidating. And we were at dinner, and he was sitting nearby, and they were bringing out some food. And at some point, as like an app, they were bringing out these like flatbreads and little like coal oven pizzas that they had. And then just under my breath, just because I can't ever help it, I was like, "Hey, the pizza dude." And my boss's boss, like all of a sudden, like turns, he's just like, "Did you just quote the Burbs?" And then that was kind of our immediate connection. So every like corporate event or anytime I saw him, because he's from out of town, we would just start doing Burbs quotes, and everyone else in the room was so confused on what we were doing. But till this day, every now and then we'll text each other a Burbs quote, or let each other know when we're watching it, whatever it is. So definitely higher up in the company that I work at, and I have that one little bond that nobody else has, and it's the Burbs. So that's good.
Because of the Burbs? No. I could totally use that to my advantage, though. I'm a salesman. I could use a lot of those lines from that movie.
My favorite Burp scene is Mark with the hose. Run to me, run to water. And then he wipes out because the hose reached the end of the limit. That always makes me laugh, no matter how many times I watch it.
My favorite scene in the Burbs is probably the anchovy scene with Tom Hanks chewing on the pretzels with the anchovies. Just that sound is really funny.
Well, the whole movie is one big favorite scene. Of course, the bees, I mentioned them before, ringing the doorbell with the zooms on the faces. And of course, the 9 on the tension scale. No! That was a great scene that you can feel the tension when they arrive in that house and first meet them. And it's so awkward. Well, very good scene.
For me, I think most favourite scene is obviously where Carrie and Tom are sitting on top of the house. Obviously, he's had his little wake up call. He's took things a bit too seriously and had a little bit of a breakdown, and he's sitting there on top of their veranda. And obviously, Mark and Art come along and let him out, Carol. And it's like, just when I was a child, it just reminds me of when I was going to see my friends, and my friends weren't allowed out, and I just think that was a beautiful scene, really well done, really well acted as well.
I don't know if I have any specific favorite scene in the movie. I think they're all almost little mini movies that are just stitched together perfectly. I think some stuff can stand on its own. Maybe the garbage truck scene, just because throughout the rest of the movie that pile of garbage is still sitting on the street, and that just cracks me up.
Do I have a favorite Burbs scene? Yes, I have one. When Tom's sliding down the stairs. That's amazing. No. The citizen's arrest. That's great. No. All day? No. Where do you think you're going, Pinocchio? It's awesome. Really, we're going to be doing that much golfing. Have you seen my new tools? That's the best. Run to water! That's the best scene. Red Rover. That's the best. Ow. That's the best. Sardine. That's awesome. Do you want to put that back? Do you want to not steal from your neighbors? I'm just sitting here. You mean like grave diggers? Awesome. My favorite scene is all the above.
When Tom Hanks and who was it? They go up to the doorstep. Who else was it?
You mean Walter's house?
No, Tom
Oh,
Hanks.
you mean
And then massive hornets come out.
all right, yeah.
Art.
You mean Art?
Tom Hanks' Art.
Yeah. You like that bit when all bees attack them and stuff? Wasps. Right. Yeah, the one with Art with his wife's home, the one where he electrocutes himself, and with anything with Rumsfeld in.
My favourite scene in The Burbs is when Ray throws himself onto the stretcher and into the back of the ambulance. And I also really love the look that Carol gives to Ray when she's encouraging him to eat the sardine and pretzel snack.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me tell you my scenes. I love the scene where Art and Rumsfeld come over to see if Ray can come outside, and when they're told no, they kind of act like little kids and, you know, get all disappointed. That's one of the best scenes in the movie. The scene where Rumsfeld falls off the roof is one of the best scenes of the movie. But the best scene of the movie, in my opinion, is where the house blows up and then Ray comes out and he slides down the stairs. Is one of the finest moments in cinematic history. It's my favorite scene.
When it comes to a Burbs scene, it really depends on like why I'm watching the movie. So if I'm watching the movie like on the first day of a staycation and I like to relate to the characters, my favorite scene is going to actually be when the paper boys coming through and you get the nice soundtrack playing and it's like fancy light and lifting, and it's just really good to see like the neighborhood a little bit, and then it just ends with Ray Peterson chucking his coffee at him. So that's always going to be my favorite scene if I'm just like enjoying myself in a staycation.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Off the top of my head, because my grandma always laughs, is when Ray has to eat the sardine.
Nope. Well, there go the goddamn brownies. I always say that no matter what I draw. It's one of the funniest lines. I also like to say, oh, it came with the frame. How unfortunate for the naps. So many good lines in that movie, it's hard to pick. Like, I could sit here and quote the movie all day. Random things that happen during the day, there's always going to be a Burbs quote to go with it.
My favorite quote is, Satan is good, Satan is your pal.
Well, the 9 on the tension scale, there goes the goddamn brownie, there go the goddamn brownies, of course, and numerous, Ricky Butler says, the crews are too big for the bird feeder, etc. Well, every line, pretty much 90% of the lines are always quoted in the group, so they are all favorites.
The whole film's a quote. I can't not stop picking things out of the film. Literally, the whole film is just quotable. Can't not get away. There's no real specific lines for me. The whole film is just a brilliant piece of writing. Start to go. It's just a shame that they don't make anything like that anymore.
I guess the one that I like the most is one that I'll post in the Facebook group quite a bit. Is about the Supreme Court ruled that a man's garbage is public domain the minute it hits the curb. I know it's kind of an offline, but that one still just cracks me up.
Yeah, I do. No Tanzlan this morning. Nice.
Got a few, yeah. I like Walter, let's stay with ass shut. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And I also like Art's line when he goes, my wife's home.
Okay.
My favourite lines or quotes are anything that Rumsfeld says. He's my absolute favourite character.
Yes, and they're endless. I mean, and we use them at home all the time. You know, about a 9 on the tension scale. You know, run to water, run to water. There's so many different lines in the movie, and we use them frequently at home all the time. Yes.
If it's me just kind of just going through the motions, then it's probably definitely going to be the three of them behind the trash can and going through the line. I've never seen that before. Never seen somebody drive their garbage down out of the street and beat the hell out of it with a stick. No, I've never seen that. That's always going to stick with me. It's hilarious. And every time I bring my trash down to the curb, every single Tuesday night, I kind of say that line in my head.
Hey, Pinocchio, where are you going?
I've introduced the Burbs to several friends. They're all fans of the movie.
Anytime I have friends over that have never seen it, I always try to get them to watch it.
With my parents, they liked it a lot. It was hilarious. It was a great holiday. And ever since, I've been watching it each spring break and each summer break. I haven't introduced friends to the Burbs. Well, nowadays, yeah, you know, I don't want to watch a movie that's a 30-year-old movie. But family, I introduced my parents back in 1990. I thought you had it. I told them, I saw this movie this morning. You have to see it. So I laughed with them. And last year, when I was visiting my parents, we watched it again. My father, I don't know, I saw some meme coming through from the Burbs, and my father said, hey, I remember watching that movie with you almost 30 years ago, not 25 years ago. So what was that movie? I said, that's the Burbs. I'm in a whole fan group from it. Oh, let's watch it again. So we did watch it again. So yeah, great times. Trip down memory lane.
I have tried. It's really about how, if the opportunity, timing, and if something happens in the street, probably will try and convince my wife to watch it. She is aware of the film. I'm endlessly quoting it, but we have not yet sat down and watched it. But that will be one thing I would like to do this year.
Not specifically, no.
Have I introduced the Burbs to family and friends? Yes, to like an annoying level. Constantly talking about it. Whenever movies come up, I talk about the Burbs.
I've introduced it to my mum and she said she didn't like it.
Well, I think it's a divorce on where there, isn't there? Loads of people, got loads of people watching it, yeah. Got Gemma over the road, she loves it.
I have introduced the Burbs to other family members and friends as well, and I'm going to keep recommending it and introducing it to people.
Yeah, absolutely. I've introduced my husband to the Burbs. I'm sure that he saw it when he was a kid too, but I think I sucked him into the love of the film. And my daughter, she's 10 years old. She's super into the movie, and so I can be proud of her for that. We watch it pretty frequently around here, so yes, I've shown my immediate family is they're also big fans.
So I absolutely have introduced the Burbs to family and friends. my daughter started watching it when she was 3 years old. She's almost 5 now, so whenever she comes home and sees that I'm watching it, or she sees it like kind of on the DVD shelf, she's like, oh, let's watch The Burbs. So she know what it is. When she first started watching it, though, she couldn't pronounce it right, so she kept saying The Birds. But yeah, my daughter's already been raised with it. I have a 1-month-old son. He'll be raised with it too. And then with some other friends and family, I have multiple copies of the DVD. I'll actually lend out the other one and just be like, you got to try this movie out. So a couple of people at work have seen it, and then some close and distant relatives as well.
Yeah, everyone I know. Literally everybody.
You made me watch it with you and Nanny, and you guys quoted every single line to it.
I think that covers it all. So have a good day and keep enjoying the Burbs. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, neighbour.
No tan lines this morning. Nice.
Staring down the driveway, looks like a graveyard, it's blood day. Arch got his theories, Mr. Peterson. Shadows in the basement, what they hiding there. Carol's had enough of crazy schemes, suburban horror and dreamscape scenes. Walter's gone missing, left his toupee. Neighbors whisper in the wind decay. Carol's had enough of crazy schemes, suburban horror and dreamscape scenes. Walter's gone missing, left his toupee. Neighbors whisper in the wind decay. Satan is good, Satan is a pal. Cold things moving like some living hell. Eyes in the windows, breaking the calm. Despair hides under their perfect lawn. Arms fields up and ready for war. Living next to devils evens the score. Bonnie ain't believing the rise of dread. Beneath this town we're all stained red. Ricky's watching the chaos unfold. Teenage rebel in a story retold. Love shouting loud and noise in rage. Hate seeps through this picket fence cage. Satan is good, Satan is our pal. Hoping's moving like some living hell. Eyes in the windows breaking the calm. Despair hides under their perfect lawn. Rose fields armed and ready for war. Living next to devils evens the score. Bonnie ain't believing the rise of dread. Beneath this town we're all stained red. Ricky's watching the chaos unfold. Teenage rebel in a story retold. Love shouting loud and noise in rage. Hate seeps through this picket fence cage. Satan is good, Satan is our pal. Hoping's moving like some living hell. Eyes in the windows breaking the calm. Despair hides under their perfect lawn. Despair hides under their perfect lawn. Despair hides under their perfect lawn.
So that's my take on The Burbs. I got to go paint my house.